Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading. I hope you guys are all well. I'm going to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Cancer sign out there, so guys, take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind the energies can reverse. So if it's resonating, Cancer, get in where you fit in, even if it's on the other side. But if it's not for you, don't try to push yourself into a reading that's obviously not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Cancer? All right. Cancer, you are starting out with the Seven of Cups reversed. You have the Three of Swords reversed and the Three of Pentacles reversed. So there is some sort of a karmic lesson or cycle that you're experiencing right now. I feel like you would rather not because I feel like you're trying to avoid a painful situation, but there's no, it's like you have no choice but to deal with whatever this is. Now, it has to do with a established foundation that has either broken down or is in the process of that. It's unstable. It might have to do with a contract. This could even be like in your work life, or because it's contractual. It doesn't have to be relationship, but there's something that is breaking down. You're trying to avoid it somewhat because it's going to be painful, but you're finding that you have no choice but to deal with whatever this is. I do see that for some of you there is a soul contract that may have ended, and I feel like you're healing from that. Yeah, there's change that's happening. You could be resisting that change a little bit. You might feel like your options are dwindling down here. Let me see who's in your energy. Show me who. Thank you. The Lovers, Gemini energy, Four of Wands reversed, and the Hangman in reverse, Pisces energy. All right, so the person that's in your energy may have had a choice between two people. This is somebody that could have ended a connection with you, or possibly you ended it. I feel like they did, though, because I feel like they may have had choices. If it wasn't a choice between two, it could have been a very big choice with regard to love. And I feel like this person took quite a while to make this decision, and then it was rather abrupt when they did. But I also feel like this person is starting to rethink their decision here because they're feeling like you might be a soulmate. So let's look at the energy between, because this would be somebody I feel like you gave unconditional love to as well. Show me the energy between Cancer and this person. Seven of Swords reversed. Yeah. Well, that's painful. All right. So I understand. Seven of Swords in the reverse, there was lying, cheating, or stealing that was taking place here. And I do feel like it was deceptive energy. It was consciously being done as well. Whatever it is out in the open. It's happened. You already are aware of it. You already know about it. For a lot of you, this person, could have had a choice between you and someone else. But there was something deceptive taking place. So there's a change that is occurring that you're kind of resisting a little bit, but you have to move forward with this. So because of the deception, let me see what's affecting the connection. Yeah, the ending, Two of Cups. Yeah, this is a soulmate. It definitely is a soulmate, but there are many different types of soulmates, so be aware of that. So this is an ending. You're healing from this ending. And I do feel like this person in your energy, through deception in some manner, initiated this ending. And it wasn't what you wanted. Show me the outcome for Cancer. Five of Swords, conflict. Yeah. You might be dealing with somebody that is in their ego or even a little bit narcissistic here, especially the way they speak to you. And understand that the way they're speaking to you in this harsh and narcissistic tone, it's a conscious decision. It's a conscious decision. So it's hard for me to feel sorry for somebody if they're deliberately being harsh, but there's conflict that's here. Bottom of the deck is the Hermit. This is underlying energy. You might be dealing with a Virgo. Very strong Gemini energy is here, as well as Pisces. But with the Hermit, this person may have ghosted you. There is this energy of not talking, not speaking. I do feel like you've kind of gone within, Cancer. You're trying to figure things out. You're searching for answers. But it looks like there's no communication. So let me clarify your reading. Why is the Seven of Cups in reverse for Cancer? Page of Wands reversed, and the Emperor in reverse. Yeah, you don't want to talk to this person. So you've got the Five of Swords, you've got the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor in reverse is very arrogant, very controlling, you know, trying to control the situation. And having these two cards come out, that indicates a bit of narcissistic energy. I feel like you were giving to this person, you know, unconditionally, and I feel like you found out something that was really deceptive, and this entire situation spun out of control. And you feel like you don't have any other choice but to not talk to this person right now. Let me see the Three of Swords reversed. Ooh, the Hermit in reverse, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you may feel this person has been a player. Again, I'm getting that ghosting energy. I do feel like you kind of went within to search for the answers, and the answer that you came up with is that this person broke your heart because they had player ways. Yeah, and if they weren't being a player, they were in and out of the connection. Yeah, that's rough energy. That's rough energy right there. So I do feel like you're healing from this. I do feel that there is a lack of communication. And I do feel like you've kind of put a lot of distance between you and this person. Why is the Three of Pentacles in reverse? You feel that the two of you aren't on the same page, you know? And I'm definitely getting this energy of someone ghosting. More conflict. Five of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the Fool. So you have a new beginning coming, but you're conflicted about it. You're worrying about it. I don't necessarily believe it's with this person, because I see a lot of conflict with this person. But there's something about a new beginning here for you, and you're up in your head about it. You're thinking about it. You're worried about it. And it could be because of everything you've gone through with this person. So you're overthinking this new beginning, because this is, not only do you have conflict with this person or have had conflict with this person, and that conflict ended this connection. It destabilized everything. It's a broken contract. And it looks like a soulmate connection. So this person broke a soulmate contract is what it looks like. And now you have this opportunity for some new beginning here. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a person. It could be a new beginning on your own, or in something that, you know, you're excited about. You are going to take the risk. You're going to take the opportunity, but you're definitely up in your head and conflicted about it. And I feel like it's because of what occurred in this connection somehow. So let's look at their energy. Show me the Lovers. Why is the Lovers here? For the person in Cancer's energy. All right, we have the Four of Pentacles reversed, Ace of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So this person released the connection. They chose to go in another direction and end this. But there was an absolute lack of stability here anyway. This person wasn't providing stability. but the deception had to do with another person. I feel like this person opened themselves up to another opportunity, and when that came out into the open, that's what ended this. Also, be very careful if this person does come back into your energy, because I feel like this person has financial issues, and you want to make sure that they're not trying to, you know, come into your energy for financial purposes. Let me see the Four of Wands reversed. Show me the Four of Wands. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords reversed, and we have the Five of Swords reversed. Now, this person, in the outcome, the Five of Swords is in the upright. So this person has been avoiding you because they don't want the conflict. They don't want to talk. You may have even reached out to this person. After a period of not talking to them, you may have reached out. If so, this person has been avoiding you. See, they know that they're not providing any stability here. And so they chose to go in another direction. They chose another person, somebody newer in their energy. And now they're trying to avoid the conflict that would come if they contacted you or if they talked with you. So I do feel like this person is not a very stable person. There's an indication that they're not a very happy person. I do feel that they do tend to sit in their ego. With the Four of Wands in reverse, there's an instability here, and their money doesn't appear to be stable. The instability in a large portion is coming because this person is overly reliant on other people or other situations. And I do feel that they feel powerless, but they don't want to open up about that if they are even aware of it, because it doesn't appear that they're like really self-aware. So they're avoiding. Ever since this connection ended, they've been avoiding. Why is the Hangman in reverse? Okay, we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed and the Four of Wands reversed. They know that this connection ended because they weren't putting the effort into it, and also possibly because of some financial issues and reasons. Again, I'm getting that same information that this is not somebody who sits and thinks about their life or thinks about their behavior. They kind of fly by the seat of their pants, and they're not terribly self-aware. Again, I see the ending, and I see them not putting any effort in. And in fact, they're actively avoiding, and that's because they know that if there's any communication with you, that it's gonna lead to conflict. So let me see, and that's because of the deception that was here. So let me see the Seven of Swords. Show me the energy between Cancer and this person. The Tower. Oh, yeah, it caused a Tower moment for you, Cancer. And the Three of Swords reversed. And they knew that. So they consciously went into a third-party situation. They knew what they were doing when they did it. And when you found out, it caused this Tower moment. Everything broke down because this person is not stable. So because they were trying to control everything, they were being deceptive. It wasn't built on a solid foundation. And that's the karmic lesson or karmic cycle that you're dealing with, okay? So I do feel that it's a harsh lesson. It's a harsh thing to be going through. But there is, you know, I do feel like you've done some reflection, and I feel like you're beginning to see that pattern. Now, in their energy, they've moved towards a third party, and it looks like that third party is still in their energy. So let me see what's affecting the connection. Why is the Two of Cups in the reverse? King of Cups reversed and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Yeah, this person is stuck in their own instability and powerlessness. They're stuck in that. So they're receiving negative karma since the ending of this connection. Part of that is because they are avoidant. They're very avoidant. They know that there would be conflict if the two of you talked. And in your energy, I see that, you know, you've built a wall around your heart. This is something you're figuring out, though, because you are doing the self-reflection. You have gone within, you are finding the answers, and you're healing. And as a result, you're realizing that there's some patterns here that you have to address and have to deal with. I do feel that you have built a little bit of a wall around your heart, though. And, you know, because I do see that there's somebody that was new in your energy at some point that you were like, no, I can't deal with it. I don't even want to deal with that person. So in order for you to have this new beginning, you have to learn this karmic lesson or complete this cycle. And it's going to require self-reflection, which you're doing, and you're doing the work, so that therefore this new beginning is coming through. But I do see that you're not on the other side of this yet. You know, that's where the conflict is coming in. That's where, because this is internal conflict and worry and concern, afraid of repeating the same cycles. So I feel like you've pulled back from this person, but you really did love this person. You really did. And I feel like this hurt you deeply. This ending hurt you deeply. So there's still some residual feelings that you have here. And I feel like you're dealing with that and healing from that. But they're receiving karma. Yeah, they're receiving karma as we speak. So let me see the outcome. Okay, we have the Hierophant, Taurus energy. You could also be dealing with another Cancer sign, a Pisces, very strong Scorpio. We have the Magician, and we have the Six of Wands reversed. Okay, so in your outcome, I feel like you're manifesting, you know, a discussion or talk with this person. Because I feel like you want to be heard. You want to be heard. You feel that this person caused this tower moment in your life and then they just dipped, they took off, and I feel like you want to be heard. So you've got some things you want to say to this person. And I feel like you're manifesting an opportunity to do that. However, as long, and you know, some of you will disagree with me, and you're more than welcome to. But what I'm seeing here in the cards is that while you're manifesting that, you know it's going to be a fight. You know it's going to be a conflict. And this person is running. They're avoidant. But you want the opportunity to say what you want to say, what you need to say. The only thing is that as long as you are tied to that and you feel that you need that for closure, or you need that, you know, for any reason, it's keeping you tied to this situation. It's keeping you tied to this person's energy. And it will cause you to stall out on this new beginning. It will cause the new beginning that you are manifesting as well to be unsuccessful. So you really have to choose if it is important to you to, you know, have this conflict with this person who is obviously wanting, you know, they're very dedicated to misunderstanding what you're going to say anyway. You know, is it worth it to you? Is it worth it to you? Or would you rather get the closure through having a successful new beginning? So that's something you have to make a choice. You have to decide. And that's all linked to this karmic cycle or karmic lesson. So I can see that you are manifesting this new beginning. You're manifesting also this conflict because you want to get your closure. Is it really that important? Now, in their energy, this is somebody who actually realize that they've made a mistake here. They do. They realize it. And there's conflict in their energy. This is their karma. So I don't feel like you're going to have to do much for them to understand. You living a successful life is going to be their karma, basically, because they realize this ended. It could have gone one of two ways. It could have gone into a very strong commitment, which is what they said they wanted, or it could have ended. And because they chose not to put the effort into it, they now are having to face themselves and understand that's why this failed. That's why it didn't move through. So now they're in this, repeating the cycle with somebody new who wants to have a committed connection with them as well. And they're not going to put the effort into that either. So they're repeating the same cycle over and over and over and over, which is why the Wheel of Fortune is not turning in their favor. They're stuck in a cycle. Yeah, they're stuck in a cycle. All right, bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands in the reverse. That's that third party. That's the third party that got brought into this situation, who is now in the reverse, and because they're repeating cycles, it's going to end. It's also telling me that there's literally nothing you need to do. You already have all the answers. You don't have to take action here. You just have to be willing to let their behavior be the closure that you need. So I'm seeing Taurus energy here, Aries, Leo, Sagittarian energy. So take it as it resonates for you. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle card and we'll see if there's any further advice for you, Cancer. All right. Following your bliss. My soul sings with joy. All right, let me read that for you. And just an FYI, I think following your bliss would be a much better and more powerful way to handle this. All right, but it's always your choice. All right, it says, do what gives you joy, celebrate and have fun. You do not need to suffer to grow. In fact, true happiness comes from following the dictates of your soul. Take steps today to expand your joy. You don't need to do it all at once, but you do need to start. The universe wants you to know, if you don't follow your bliss now, when will you? If you've been waiting to act until circumstances are different or somehow better, you may have a long wait. Some people put off following their North Star until they graduate, get married, have kids, or retire. If you continue to do so, you may never attain genuine happiness. Take steps today to experience the sweet nectar of life. So move towards what brings you bliss, Cancer. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you have resonated with this reading, Cancer, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype the video if you get the opportunity. Until I see you in your next reading, Cancer, know that you are loved, and namaste.